This place possesses some of the planet's most ancient geological wonders and beaches. However, hidden beneath those crystal-clear, heaven-like waters are creatures that can take a human life within minutes. Although it is the sixth largest country in the world, more than 95% of its territory is completely uninhabited. The harshness of nature forces people to carve into rock faces to live underground. The international community often praises this place with the title, Lucky Country. But few know the truth behind it. This title originally came from a historical satire. And all of that is Australia, one of the most beautiful, most isolated, and most dangerous regions on Earth. Number 1. Extremely biodiverse but dangerous. Located in the Southern Hemisphere, between the Pacific and Indian Oceans, Australia is the only country in the world that occupies an entire continent. Although it is the smallest continent, it is the sixth largest country on Earth, with an area comparable to that of the 48 contiguous states of the United States. This isolated position originated from a geological separation. In the distant past, the Australian landmass was part of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana. About 180 million years ago, this supercontinent began to break apart. The landmass containing Australia and Antarctica split away. Around 30 to 35 million years ago, Australia completely separated from Antarctica and continued drifting northward. Tens of millions of years of separation cut off all contact routes with the outside world. This shaped a completely independent evolutionary path for the continent. This absolute geographic isolation has made Australia one of the planet's 17 megadiverse countries. More than 80% of its plants, mammals, reptiles, and amphibians are endemic, meaning they exist nowhere else on Earth. The kangaroo and koala are Australia's two most iconic marsupials. The kangaroo even appears on the country's coat of arms. Australia is also home to many unique animals, including the emu, platypus, dingo, Tasmanian devil, and quokka, the animal often nicknamed the happiest animal in the world. However, unlike many other places, in Australia the more beautiful something is, the more cautious you need to be. Australia is home to countless deadly predators. In the northern mangrove regions, saltwater crocodiles can grow to over 6 meters long and are always ready to ambush prey at high speed. On land, people may encounter the cassowary, a giant bird with sharp claws, capable of delivering potentially fatal kicks. Hidden beneath the ocean and within dense vegetation are nearly invisible box jellyfish, blue-ringed octopuses, taipan snakes, and highly venomous spiders. Indeed, Australia's natural world has evolved in a unique way, exclusive, diverse, and filled with danger. Number 2. 95% of Australia's territory is uninhabited. Despite its vast size, 95% of Australia's territory is completely uninhabited. This emptiness is due to natural conditions. The hot climate, low rainfall, and shortage of water sources make the central region, the outback, extremely difficult to live in. About 70% of Australia's land area is arid or semi-arid. In the interior, there are areas larger than an entire European country, yet the population remains incredibly sparse. To survive, people have had to develop unique methods of adaptation. A notable example is Coober Pedy, an opal mining town located in the desert of South Australia. To escape summer temperatures that can exceed 45 to 50 degrees on the surface, residents have moved underground. They carve into rock walls to build homes, churches, hotels, museums, and service businesses. Thanks to the rock's natural insulating properties, these underground spaces maintain temperatures of 20 to 25 degrees year-round, without the need for air conditioning. Australia's enormous land area makes its population density one of the lowest on the planet. Even so, Australia is among the most highly urbanized countries in the world. 9 out of every 10 Australians live in cities and urban areas. Because it is difficult to settle deep into the interior, about 95% of Australia's population chooses to live along a narrow coastal belt. They are concentrated within 100 kilometers of the coastline, in major coastal metropolitan areas such as Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Number 3. The truth behind the title. The lucky country. Australia is one of the most prosperous and livable countries in the world. Its economy ranks 13th globally. The international community often refers to this nation as the lucky country. But the truth behind this nickname may not be so fortunate. Australia ranks 2nd in the world for energy and mineral exports. The country possesses the world's largest reserves of iron ore, zinc, and nickel. It is the leading producer of iron ore and lithium, the key raw material for batteries. Australia also controls 43% of global liquefied natural gas, LNG trade, with export revenues reaching $50 billion. In 2023, Australia's nominal GDP reached 2.6 trillion Australian dollars, equivalent to 1.7 trillion US dollars. The average full-time salary was as high as $60,000 US dollars per year. Despite having only around 27 million people, Australia has nearly 6 million households, with disposable incomes exceeding 75,000 USD annually. This proportion is nearly equivalent to that of the United States, the world's largest economy. Australia's welfare system is also reflected in impressive figures. The Australian government spent $131 billion on healthcare in 2023, ranking 5th in the world in per capita healthcare expenditure. Thanks to the universal healthcare system Medicare, the average life expectancy reaches 83 years, the 5th highest globally. In education, Australia allocates 6.2% of its GDP to educational institutions, higher than the OECD average of 5.1%. It has 6 universities ranked among the world's top 100, attracting the highest per capita rate of international students on the planet. Education has become the country's 3rd largest export industry, generating more than $28 billion annually. Nearly 50% of the workforce holds qualifications ranging from college diplomas to university degrees. However, the title, The Lucky Country, was originally intended as a historical irony. The term comes from a book published in 1964 by Donald Horne. He used the phrase to criticize an Australia that lacked innovation and was governed by mediocre leadership. Horne argued that Australia's wealth did not stem from intelligence or effective governance. Rather, it was simply the result of good fortune, extracting and selling natural resources and inheriting institutions from the era of British colonial rule. Many tax policies encouraged people to engage heavily in property speculation instead of investing in innovative, productive businesses. As a result, housing prices in major cities have risen 36-fold since 1973. Sydney has become the 2nd most expensive housing market in the world. Rising housing prices, combined with the cost of living crisis, have made homeownership increasingly difficult for younger generations. Number 4. The status of Australian women. Australian women are known for their natural beauty standards, combining a wild, alluring charm with, at times, a touch of masculinity. Their distinctive features include healthy, radiant skin and lightly wavy hair glowing under the sun. One particularly unique traditional beauty secret is the use of oil extracted from emu fat to moisturize, regenerate the skin, and combat aging. They prioritize an active lifestyle and balanced eating habits rather than strict diets. A typical example is model Belle Lucia, who maintains her figure mainly through walking and running, while still freely enjoying food. The proportion of Australian women holding a bachelor's degree or higher is significantly greater than that of men. About 91.4% of women over the age of 25 have completed secondary education. Female labour force participation stands at 68%. South Australia was one of the first places in the world to grant women both the right to vote and the right to run for office in 1895. The country elected its first female parliamentarian in 1921, its first female federal parliamentarian in 1943, and its first female prime minister in 2010. As of 2022, women held 44% of seats in the federal parliament and occupied 54% of positions on government boards. Notably, in 2010, women simultaneously held nearly all of the highest positions of power. From the state to the federal level, this included the mayor, premier, governor, prime minister, and governor-general. Would you like to make friends with a beautiful and capable Australian woman like that? Comment number 4, and I'll share some tips with you. However, gender inequality still exists in Australian society. Despite having higher educational attainment, women working full-time earn, on average, 14% less than men. Family responsibilities lead 43% of women to work part-time, compared with only 16% of men. In private sector businesses, women continue to face barriers to reaching senior management positions. In addition, the rate of women experiencing domestic violence in the country remains high. Number 5. Australian egalitarianism. Australian society is built on the foundation of egalitarianism. There is no rigid class system or hereditary aristocracy. The character of its people is shaped by 2 core concepts. The first is a fair go, meaning that everyone deserves a fair opportunity. The second is mate, which refers to friendship and the willingness to support one another through hardship. In this country, the customer is not considered king. Calling service staff in a condescending manner, snapping your fingers to get attention, or complaining loudly in a restaurant is regarded as rude behavior. People always say please and thank you in all situations, from buying a cup of coffee to stepping off a bus and waving to thank the driver. Thanks to these values, Australia has a very low power distance. In everyday life and in the workplace, people address each other by their first names. Whether someone is a CEO or an intern, everyone calls each other by name from the very first meeting. They even use shortened nicknames with endings like O or IE, such as Darvo or Jono, as a sign of friendliness and familiarity. Australians prefer a relaxed style of dress. They do not judge people based on their cars or expensive designer brands. Even the wealthiest individuals tend to embrace simplicity. Statistics show that 2/3 of the highest income households in Australia consider themselves either middle class or working class. However, the pressure of absolute equality has also given rise to a psychological phenomenon known as tall poppy syndrome. As the name suggests, any flower that grows taller than the others is immediately cut down. In Australia, exceptionally talented individuals, those who achieve great success, or those who openly display ambition can easily become targets of scrutiny, envy, or social rejection from the public, colleagues, and the media. Rather than being celebrated as they often are in the United States, high achievers in Australia frequently learn to downplay their excellence in order to fit in. This creates a significant barrier to the development of talent and can diminish personal pride in one's accomplishments. Australians have a laid-back lifestyle that sometimes puzzles Americans and Europeans. If you are invited to dinner at 6 p.m., arriving 10 to 15 minutes late is considered polite because it gives the host extra time to prepare. Their society operates on trust. Handbags may be left on cafe chairs while their owners go inside to order, and surfboards can be seen lying unattended on the beach without fear of being stolen. Their character is also marked by a dry sense of humor and a habit of self-deprecation. They never take themselves too seriously. Number 6. One of the oldest natural wonders on the planet, tens of millions of years of geographic isolation have given Australia a completely unique ecosystem and geological structure. The country is home to some of the oldest natural wonders on Earth. The Great Barrier Reef, located off the northeastern coast, is the largest living structure on Earth. Stretching more than 2,300 kilometers along the Coral Sea, this system consists of 3,000 individual reefs and 900 tropical islands. Its scale is so vast that it can be seen from outer space. It is home to more than 1,600 species of fish, 133 species of sharks and rays, and 6 of the world's 7 species of sea turtles. On the west coast, the 260 kilometers long Ningaloo Reef is the largest fringing reef in the world. Here, visitors can walk directly from the beach to the reef and swim alongside whale sharks. On land, the continent contains numerous prehistoric rock formations. In the heart of the desert, the Uluru monolith rises 348 meters high and is more than 550 million years old. This massive red rock is the spiritual center of the Anangu people. Along the coastal route lies the 12 Apostles Rock Formation. These limestone stacks were formed 15 to 20 million years ago through erosion by the Southern Ocean. Other geological formations include the Bungle Bungles, with their 20-million-year-old orange and black striped sandstone domes resembling beehives. Wave rock, shaped like a giant wave, was formed 2.7 billion years ago. And the Pinnacles, where thousands of limestone pillars rise from the sand. Australia also preserves ancient primeval forests. Located in far north Queensland, Daintree is the oldest continuously surviving tropical rainforest in the world. Covering an area larger than New York City's Central Park, it has the highest concentration of primitive flowering plants on the planet and is a direct descendant of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana. Kakadu National Park covers an area nearly 1/3 the size of Tasmania. It combines wetlands, floodplains, rocky plateaus, and abundant wildlife. Kakadu also preserves Aboriginal rock art dating back more than 40,000 years. Many other areas of Australia feature remarkable natural phenomena. Lake Hillier on Middle Island has pink-coloured water. This colour is not an optical illusion, but is created by bacteria and microalgae living in the extremely saline environment. Fraser Island is the largest sand island in the world, with a 120-kilometre-long beach. The island contains ancient dune systems, freshwater lakes, and rainforests growing directly on sand. Finally, Shark Bay is recognized by UNESCO for having the world's largest seagrass meadows and a population of dugongs. The bay also preserves stromatolites, ancient algal structures considered the oldest living fossils on Earth. Number 7. Australia's unique cuisine. Australian cuisine does not emphasize elaborate preparation, but instead focuses on practicality, community connection, and distinctive native flavors. Vegemite is considered a national culinary icon and an indispensable staple in Australian kitchens. It is a thick, dark brown spread made from brewer's yeast extract combined with vegetables and spices. However, Vegemite's salty, slightly bitter taste and strong, distinctive aroma can be a real challenge for foreign visitors, often requiring time to get used to before they can truly appreciate it. Tim Tam chocolate-coated cream-filled biscuits are regarded as one of Australia's globally famous sweet treats. What makes them special is not only their flavor, but also the ritual of eating them, known as the Tim Tam Slam. People bite off two opposite corners of the biscuit, dip one end into a hot drink, and use the biscuit as a straw. As the hot liquid passes through, the chocolate cream filling melts rapidly. At the precise moment when the biscuit becomes soft and is about to fall apart, it must be quickly popped into the mouth to enjoy an incredible explosion of sweet flavor. The outdoor barbecue culture is the soul of Australian weekends and a cherished national tradition. People often gather at beaches, parks, or campsites where public barbecue grills are available. The classic food is snags, beef or pork sausages served simply in a slice of white bread with sauce. These BBQ gatherings are neither fancy nor elaborate. Instead, they are relaxed and informal, following the bring-your-own principle, where guests bring their own meat, drinks, or salads to share, creating an atmosphere of equality, comfort, and laughter. Flat white coffee is an iconic Australian invention that has made its mark on the global beverage scene. It consists of a small amount of espresso combined with finely textured steamed milk. Australia has a strong, independent coffee culture that values privately owned roasteries and maintains exceptionally high-quality standards, causing many large international industrial beverage chains to struggle or fail when attempting to expand there. The meat pie is Australia's national fast food. It features a crisp baked pastry crust filled with minced meat and rich gravy. This convenient snack can be found at virtually every gas station and convenience store, and is an essential part of sporting events, with hundreds of millions consumed across the continent each year. Number 8. The world's oldest continuously living culture. The ancestors of Aboriginal Australians and Torres Strait Islanders arrived on this continent between 50,000 and 65,000 years ago during the last ice age. This is the oldest continuously living culture in the world. Before Europeans arrived, they had diversified into more than 250 language groups and hundreds of distinct dialects. They lived across the continent's harsh and varied environments. The Mungo remains, dated to approximately 41,000 years ago, provide evidence of human existence and adaptability in this land. Indigenous Australians do not view land as property to be owned or exploited. They believe that people belong to the land. At the heart of this culture is the system known as the dreaming. As high. They believe that the journeys of ancestral spirits in the distant past shaped the mountains and rivers. Therefore, every rock and stretch of river is considered a physical trace of the ancestors. The dreaming also functions as a strict survival code. It specifies which water sources are safe, which seasons are suitable for hunting, and which areas are off limits for resource use. For them, protecting nature is a mandatory duty, and environmental destruction is regarded as a crime against the ancestors. Australia is home to more than 100,000 rock art sites scattered across the continent. The region has the highest concentration of prehistoric art on the planet. Some rock carvings and hand stencils date back as far as 35,000 years. In modern times, indigenous art has flourished through the development of the dot painting style. This style emerged in the Central Desert region during the 1970s. Dot painting gained international recognition, has been regarded as a major art movement of the 20th century, and has become an iconic visual symbol of Australia. The history of indigenous peoples has been marked by many hardships since white settlement began in 1788. These communities were severely affected by introduced diseases, frontier violence, massacres, and assimilation policies. A notable example is the stolen generations. It is estimated that between 10% and 33% of indigenous children were forcibly removed from their families. They were placed in orphanages or religious institutions with the aim of erasing their original culture. Despite these challenges, Aboriginal communities have continued to survive and preserve their identity. In 1992, the High Court of Australia delivered the Mabo decision. This ruling officially rejected the doctrine of terra nullius, recognized the traditional land rights of indigenous peoples, and marked the beginning of a new era in the recognition of their rights in Australia. Number 9. History was once a giant prison. Modern Australia has a special beginning. This country was built on the foundation of a penal colony. The history of modern Australia began in 1788, when the first fleet of Britain arrived at Sydney Cove. The continent officially became a place of exile to address the overcrowding of criminals in England. From 1788 to 1868, around 161,700 convicts were transported to Australia. However, it was this generation of convicts that became the core workforce that built the nation. Their literacy rate was higher than the average at the time. They brought essential survival skills such as construction, agriculture, fishing, and livestock farming. Due to a shortage of free settlers, early governors had to rely on educated convicts to take on roles such as lawyers, architects, surveyors, and teachers. From their status as convicts, they gradually accumulated wealth, reclaimed land, and laid the foundations of civil society. The harsh colonial governance environment shaped a spirit of resistance among the people. This was clearly reflected in the support for the bushrangers, outlaws during the period from 1850 to 1880. The most notable among them was Ned Kelly, a young man from a poor farming background. Although he was a wanted criminal sentenced to death, Kelly's gang received significant sympathy from the local community. In folklore, Ned Kelly is seen as a Robin Hood figure protecting the underdog. This image became a symbol of independence and resistance against social injustice. This desire for struggle led to a political turning point in the Eureka Rebellion of 1854. The event broke out when gold miners in the state of Victoria protested high mining license fees, government corruption, and their lack of voting rights. The miners formed the Ballarat Reform League. They built the wooden Eureka Stockade to demand voting rights for men and land reform. On December 3rd, government troops suppressed the rebellion, killing around 20 protesters. Although it was a military defeat, the pressure from the event forced the British colonial authorities to make concessions. They replaced the monthly fee with a cheaper license, and more importantly, granted voting rights to those who held licenses. The Eureka Stockade is recognized as the foundation of democracy, equality, and voting rights in Australia. Number 10. But notes when traveling to Australia. In terms of cost, Australia is not a cheap travel destination. Expenses in major metropolitan cities such as Sydney or Melbourne are usually more expensive than in Brisbane or Perth. A lunch at a food court costs around $8 to $16. Dinner at a mid-range restaurant is about $33 per person and can go up to $65 at high-end restaurants. To save money, tourists can take buses instead of flying, cook their own meals, buy discounted groceries at supermarkets, or stay in hostels and campsites. Australia does not have a tipping culture. Service staff wages are already included in menu prices, so you are not required to leave extra tips unless the service is truly outstanding. Tap water is completely free in restaurants and public areas, and it is extremely safe to drink directly. Due to its vast territory, international flights to Australia often last from 10 to 24 hours. The distance between cities within the country is also very large. You should allocate at least 2 weeks for the trip to recover from jet lag and have enough time to explore. When participating in traffic, Australians drive on the left side. If you want to drive or rent a self-drive car, you must have an international driving permit translated into English. UV radiation in Australia is extremely high year-round. People always follow the slogan slip, slop, slap, meaning wear protective clothing, apply sunscreen with SPF 30 or higher, and wear a hat. The advice is to buy sunscreen in Australia because it offers better protection quality than foreign brands. In places like Melbourne, the weather changes quickly with 4 seasons in one day, so you should always carry an umbrella and a rain jacket. Australia is a nearly cashless society. Credit cards and contactless payment technologies are used everywhere. The country uses a 3-pin flat triangular plug type with 230V electricity, so you need to prepare an adapter. One thing to note is that Australians have quite early dinner times, from 5:30 p.m. Most restaurant kitchens close between 8:30 and 9:00 p.m. Retail stores also usually close early, from 5 to 6 p.m. Alcohol is not sold in supermarkets, but must be purchased at specialized liquor stores. When exploring nature, tourists must strictly follow safety signs at beaches and national parks to avoid crocodiles, box jellyfish, snakes, and venomous spiders. You should only swim in designated areas. You must not touch or hug koalas, as they are wild animals. Such actions can be dangerous and illegal. In terms of clothing, Australians prefer casual attire such as flip-flops, but you need to dress appropriately when going to fine dining restaurants or nightclubs. Tourists must not litter or smoke in public places, must not climb the sacred rock Uluru, and must not mock indigenous culture. Finally, a big plus is that public toilets in Australia are completely free and extremely clean. If you find this content valuable, please like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next journey. Thank you for watching. Hello and see you again.